What's up guys, it's Bliskin here, and it's been a long time since we've done a survival loadout. And I've always wanted to do one on PUBG. And since quarantine doesn't seem to be ending, and it just seems to be getting worse everywhere, I got nothing else to do. So, without further ado, welcome to episode 4 of the survival loadout series, Player Unknown Battlegrounds. As per usual, we're going to have the 25-pound weight limit rule. This is because I feel that the average person would be able to handle 25 pounds and still be mobile and functional. You might be able to do more, I might be able to do more. However, for the sake of this video and series, 25 pounds is the limit. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, first things first. We need to talk about the nature of PUBG. We're used to, as when we play, dropping in and picking up as much shit as we can. Because honestly, your survival depends on what equipment you have and how much of it you have within the game. However, in real life, if you were to be dropped in like that, it would be a little different. You see, while it would be good to pick up some body armor, grenades, 3 different weapons, it would also be a pain in the ass to have to carry all that. And here's the thing with PUBG, although you can find vehicles, you're going to have to run some more, and be prepared to keep running with everything that you have on your back or in your hands, and continue to run for potentially thousands of meters, which, if you've tried running thousands of meters without anything on your back, you already know is incredibly difficult. So imagine that with 30 plus pounds on your back, in your hands, all over. It's going to be difficult. With that being said, let's start going over the weapons and equipment that would be practical for you to survive on any one of the prescribed PUBG maps, whether that be the harsh coldness of Vikendi or the blistering sun of Miramar. First things first, you're going to need some form of ear pro. There's a lot of situations in PUBG where you get into indoor firefights, and if you don't have something to protect your ears, you're going to go deaf. Now there are many different variants of ear pro. But for the sake of this video, I'm not going to specify a variant, and we're just going to go with the general weight of 0.5 pounds. Next up, we're going to be talking about some body armor. Now, while I thought about excluding this, the fact of the matter is, the chances of you getting shot when you're up against 99 other people are incredibly high. So for that reason, you're going to want level 3 body armor, since you're going up against not just a lot of people, but people firing rifle calibers at you. The issue is, level 3 hard armor is incredibly heavy. With 2 plates, one on your chest and one on your back, would bring your weight up to 16 pounds. The lightest armor I could find brings this down to having 2 plates equals 7 pounds, but that might take away from how effective it is. However, if you want to bring a decent loadout to this situation, you're going to need to go with that lighter body armor. Since we're not talking about expenses or how much things cost, and that doesn't matter for the sake of this video, we're going to go along with these lighter but still level 3 body armor plates. And of course, last but definitely not least is a medkit, which will add 0.6 pounds. This brings the total weight of our items up to 8.1 pounds so far. Now comes the tricky part. I am positive, and was positive for the start of this video, that the weapon you're going to be bringing in with you will fire 5.56, as it travels fast, penetrates body armor, and it's light, meaning that you can carry a lot of it. However, in terms of what rifle to bring, this is when we come into some issues. The strongest contenders would be a full-size 20-inch barrel G36, the M16A4, or the AUG A3 with a 20-inch barrel again. While there is a strong argument for any one of these 3 different rifles, I'm going to walk you through the process of elimination that brought us to today's pick. At first, the M16A4 seemed like the obvious pick. It's got a nice 20-inch barrel that gives you 800 meters of accuracy, meaning that you can mount a 6x optic and have it be effective. It's only 7.5 pounds, and it's extremely modular, especially if you bring in a custom AR modeled after an M16. You could still stick on grips and whatever you want on there, sights, laser sights, whatever. It's a very tried and proven weapon, however, it gets beat out simply because of how often you are going to be swimming in the PUBG scenario. Rather than outright explain why this is going to be a big problem, I'm just going to let our friends over at H&K show why the M16's direct impingement system doesn't fare well with water. The next contender we're going to be speaking about is the full-size 20-inch barrel G36, not to be mistaken with the G36C featured in PUBG. While the G36C is extremely lightweight and practical for this situation, we want something with a longer barrel so we can get that longer range, have a better jack of all trades. And while the full-size G36 would be an excellent option for the PUBG scenario, it doesn't win this competition simply because it's a little heavier than our next contender. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys, if this was my personal loadout, my personal thing, I wouldn't go with the AUG simply because I don't really like bullpups just because there's more perceived recoil. However, I have to acknowledge the AUG's benefits and how they outweigh almost everything else that came to mind while making this video. The AUG is slightly lighter than the G36, it's more compact because of its bullpup design, meaning you get the 20-inch barrel, yet it's a lot more maneuverable, easier to run with, less cumbersome, and can quickly be stored onto your hip or onto your back with a sling, and will serve as a reliable rifle whether you're in the sands of Miramar, in the cold of Vikendi, or constantly swimming underwater like you will be in Sanhok or the other two maps. The AUG is simply the lightest option. Well, the M16 was the lightest option, but in terms of a reliable rifle that'll stick with you through any situation in all of these maps, the AUG is the lightest option. The bullpup design makes it easy for all the running and swimming you're going to be doing. It comes with a built-in flash hider. You can mount that 6x optic. It's just the objective best choice for today's video. So the AUG with the 6x optic will be coming out at 8.3 pounds. You'll have 200 rounds of 5.56, which will bring you up by 6 pounds. Now let's talk about the secondary you're going to be bringing in here. While talking about a sidearm, it's important to note that everyone is going to be wearing high-level body armor, meaning conventional pistol rounds just aren't going to work out as much as I'd like them to. And it's because of that, the only secondary I can really recommend for this scenario is the FN 5.7. This is by no means going to be a weapon you are going to rely on. However, with the 5.7 round, you have a chance of penetrating body armor at closer ranges. With this 5.7, you're going to be carrying 2 magazines of 30 rounds of ammunition, bringing your weight to another 1.6 pounds. I do recommend that you add a suppressor onto your 5.7 because just like with rifle rounds, the 5.7 travels very fast. That's how you penetrate body armor, with a really fast bullet. Fast bullets are also really loud. Because of that, a 0.6 pound suppressor is going to be needed. This brings up our total weapon weight to 16.5 pounds. So with your ear pro of choice, your lightweight 2-plated 3A body armor, your med kit, your 200 rounds of 5.56, your AUG with a 6x optic, and 5.7 with a suppressor, this rounds the loadout out at 24.6 pounds, making this the most successful loadout we've had on the channel so far, since we are below our 25-pound goal weight, making this the best loadout for the everyman, giving you the fighting chance you will need to survive this situation while also not making it impossible to run and not drowning you when you try to swim. It's because of this, the AUG, 5.7 and aforementioned equipment is the best loadout for the average man in the PUBG scenario. This has been Pliskin. Thanks for tuning in. Over and out.